My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, but also getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. You can find the link to our playlist in the show notes. Welcome to episode 88. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guests today are Birds of Tokyo. The rock band from Perth, Australia have just released their new single, Superglue, which is their first new music for 2021. In today's episode, we're speaking with singer Kenny about playing the AFL Grand Final, working with Stand Atlantic, and the music of King Stingray. Here we go. Our guests today are an ARIA award-winning band from Perth, Australia. After releasing their 6th studio record, Human Design, last year, they've now returned with Superglue, their first new music for 2021. Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Kenny from Birds of Tokyo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. How are you?
Really well, man. Really well. I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm kind of in the thick of that whole promo thing that surrounds new music. But it's all good. It's good to be talking about new music. It feels like it's been a minute, just due to the whole way things are at the moment. You know, the last year and a half's been a funny one, you know?
Oh, 100%. I feel like as well as all of that, with how things have been playing, the concept of time in everyone's brain is kind of slightly warped. It's feels like a day or feels like 2 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, yeah, feeling on that. It's
100%.
Time's weird at the moment.
It is a busy time for yourself because, as you mentioned, there's the new single, which we were going to get to in a second, but you're also, I think, probably the busiest man this week because there's the new single and there's the AFL Grand Final this weekend. Yeah,
it's all sort of landed together. New music and the Grand Final this week, so it's very busy. It's very busy, but it's good. It's good. I'm very much looking forward to having the single, do its thing, but also the Grand Final, man. That's going to be massive.
Yeah, of course. How are you feeling about the show?
If you ever get to play a Grand Final, it's amazing. They're amazing. I think this one, it's just that a little bit more special given that it's in WA for the first time. We're a WA band. This is where we grew up and where we live. Some of us live these days. And it might not happen again in WA, so it's just going to be quite sweet. And I think, people at this Grand Final are really going to lap it up and really savour it. It's going to be pretty special, man.
Yeah, of course. This is obviously a music podcast, but I do have to ask, just out of curiosity, do you have a preferred favourite, a hot tip for who's going to win?
I don't know. I don't back either team. I sort of back West Coast, but I would like to see the D's have a win. I don't think they've had a premiership in a long time, a long time. That'd be awesome. I think everyone's got a soft spot for the Dogs too. But I don't know. Yeah, the D's. Let's say the D's.
Yeah. Look, that's fair enough. Again, not a football podcast, so we won't rely too much on that for the conversation. We are here to talk about Superglue, the brand new single. Congratulations. It's a great single.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
No, of course. It is. I feel like Birds of Tokyo have this incredible kind of power, if you will, where it's a new song and it sounds new while still distinctly being a Birds of Tokyo song.
Yes. Maybe that's good. I'm glad it feels new, because for us there's nothing more exciting than putting out something that is either different or feels fresh or feels new or whatever that is. And maybe just because we've been a band this long, there's just recognizable characters within the writing or within the playing or something. I'm clearly my voice, but there's other things in there that, you know, maybe we've formed over the years that are our own now, and they're in the songs. So
it might be, as you said, one of the things you touched on, it is a very distinctive voice that you do have, and so it might be that as well. There is a new voice in the mix this time, though. You've got Bonnie Fraser from Stand Atlantic on the track as well, which is a fantastic addition to the single. I guess to begin with, when you were writing the song, was it always a duet, or was it kind of halfway through that you thought, oh, maybe this could...
Not even. It came like in the last minute. We literally had the song pretty much recorded for real. I'd already tracked all my vocals that were going to go down and stay on the track, and we'd recorded a whole bunch of stuff. And only then, when we sort of heard it really come to what it was meant to be, it was like, oh, hang on, there's something. Is there something else we can give this song just to put it on another planet? And the idea there of just with the lyric, maybe if we can get someone else to share their side of the same story, it would be great. And having Bonnie come on board, man, she was just the best to work with, and her voice is beautiful on this track, and so are her lyrics. And she really took it to another planet. It's amazing.
Is this the first time you guys have collaborated with someone in that kind of way?
No, we've been fortunate enough to do it once before. Back in 2016, we put out a record called Brace, which was a bit more of a heavier rock kind of angular record. And Hayley from the Jezebels, and Hayley in her own right these days, she featured on that and crushed that track. So we've done it once before. Yeah. No, nice. It definitely has... Well, again, not that you guys had any issue with like putting out good quality music, but it's definitely, I guess, elevates it to another level with those female vocals on there. Totally, and it's when you get it to work, it's a beautiful thing, because you don't always know how two voices are going to sound together. Like you really want to find that beautiful sort of compliment within the voices and the character and the voices at work. And thankfully with Bonnie, she's just got such a beautiful voice. And I love where she sort of put a voice in this track, because in Stand Atlantic, they're a pretty, big sort of hard power punk pop thing. And she sings a certain way in that, which is awesome. But here, I think maybe she found a bit of space just to sit a little bit more vulnerable with things. And yeah, it's really worked out. It's really cool.
It was, when I saw whatever you want to call it, when I saw that it was Bonnie from Stand Atlantic, I was slightly surprised, only because, as you said, it is, while still both rock, different areas of rock. Was there ever anyone else considered for the role or for the job, or was it always kind of Bonnie was the number one on that list?
Bonnie was actually number one, and we thought that was going to be a stretch. Like, you never know. Like, you never know how fucking cool you are or not, or that probably doesn't even matter. It's a lot of that shit's just in your own head. I was like, man, she's rad. She's got a great voice. Would she? The question is, with any of those, would they be interested? And you never know until you ask. And thankfully she was. Thankfully she was. She was well into it, and she's an absolute champion. So it all just kind of worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's nice when it kind of just Well, I guess, as you said, when it works out. The song is gorgeous. What was at least from your perspective, I know she wrote hers, but what was the original catalyst for the song in terms of the meaning behind it?
It sort of came out of left field. I mean, the whole song was about, those old feelings of loss and pain being brought up again, almost like, those ghosts that are always sort of sitting in the background. I thought I was done with all that. This is like some writing from a few years ago. So it kind of really blindsided me when the lyrics came on the page. I was like, man, really? Am I writing about this now? I was like, fuck, am I done with all this? So I actually balked at the song because of that. I was like, hang on, I don't know if we really need if I need to do this or put this out. But as we pushed through the song and sort of got it together, it actually was making more and more sense that, these things do haunt you a little bit. And fortunately, I was just falling in love with the song more and more as it went on. I was just enjoying it. And I just sort of saw past that and said, whatever, man, just get through it. And then, of course, when Bonnie came on, it was signed and sealed for me, man. Yeah,
of course. Well, I'm glad that it wasn't shot down or wasn't kind of put aside for it's done, Yeah, no,
if anything, it was actually encouraged by the band, and it just hits... Songs like this just hit that point where you might balk at it because you're about to, expose a few raw nerves again. But within that, getting through that, I think that's where you find, or at least you can create a space for people to really connect with it. And I think that's what's wonderful about songwriting. Once you put a song out like that, what it means to you, sure, but it can really mean a hell of a lot to a listener and really help a listener deal or understand or help them through whatever may be happening there. So 100%. I feel that Birds of Tokyo have always been very good at that in terms of connecting and having that kind of relationship with your fans where you, I don't know, I'm at a loss for words for trying to articulate it, but I feel that in my research, both in prep for today and just in general life before, that Birds of Tokyo fans were always kind of very, I'm using the word again, connected to the band in terms of the emotions that they feel and how it helps them, I think. Yeah, maybe that just comes from a bit as a band. I mean, we've been at it for a while, and I think whenever we can, we always try and just keep it as honest as we can, like our beginnings of songs. Why is this song here? Where did it come from? It's already been experienced from someone in the band or as a collective, so it's just started with a bit of truth in the beginning, and like I said, expose those sort of parts here without trying to give away too much. But I think that's, if you just let it out of the gate at that point, people will feel that. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. The new single, obviously, we've got that new single now. Early this year, we had Weekend. I think late last year. As we mentioned before, the concept of time is a little bit lost. So we've got two singles. Can we expect possibly another LP at some point soon in the future?
It took a lifetime to find the person you want to marry. Finding the perfect engagement ring is a lot easier. At BlueNile.com, you can find or design the ring you've always dreamed of with help from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on hand 24/7 to answer questions, and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's $50 off with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Yeah, you can. I mean, like, we look at that though, like Weekend and Superglue, like they are complete polar opposite pieces of music. Like, it is so whack. I think the Weekend was our first attempt at writing without having access to each other. We all live in different states, and the last year and a half has proved extremely difficult to actually get together to share that creative space. So the Weekend was the first time we tried to write like that and get something together. And I don't know if we got that right. It was just very new and difficult and hard to connect on that thing through the ways we were doing it without actually being able to get in and do our thing. With Superglue, we had a lot more time figuring out how to get our songwriting communication good through the means we have now in our own spaces and our own studios. And I think our communication around that got a lot better over the months. So we actually, walking in to do Superglue the same way effectively, we had a much better handle on it of how to do it. So, and I think that's probably resulted in a better song, to be honest. But yeah. We have some other stuff written, or sort of half written. That can be a record, but that's next year stuff, man. We still can't get access to each other properly at the moment, so it's probably a next year thing. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Yeah.
Have you found, so obviously we'll leave any form of new record out of the conversation, but just in relation to what you were saying with recording over Zoom or like not being able to be in the same room, have you found that obviously there's maybe a lack of chemistry there, but that what previously took you a certain period of time now takes much longer to kind of get that same I don't want to say product, but that same kind of feeling, the same kind of end result?
The same thing. Yeah. It does, because through our writing processes, whether they're singles or records or whatever, usually from go to woe, there's a few periods where we all meet together along the way. We get in a room and we all work together on whatever part we're at, right? So there's always that connection going on there as songwriters, and you also get to play the song in and all that sort of stuff in studio. So we miss that. The band really misses that. And just because we're here in our own spaces writing this way, you just have a bit more time on your hands. And sometimes that's constructive and sometimes it goes against you. You can sit there and just, wallow in your own space and agonize over a stupid word. And you're just like, we're in a room. You would just knock it out. Like, you'd have someone to bounce off and get that done. So that's the plus about being in a room. But also too, here, sometimes you do have a bit more time and freedom in these spaces to let something gestate a bit and let it sort of come to you, and then you're like, actually, hang on, boom, this is really good. So both ways, man.
Yeah. No, that's very fair. Would you look at, I guess, kind of continuing that even once border restrictions, everything else are done, with both having pros and cons? Would it be something that you'd consider maybe for future records having it done both ways, if that makes sense? Or is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
When I was recording vocals for Superglue, I was literally in a studio in Perth, and I had my producer with me, and then our producer Scott, the band's producer Scott Horscroft, on Zoom here, and then Adam Spark, a guitarist and producer, on another Zoom screen, all running through audio movers so they could literally get my real-time takes, and we'd sit there and go, yeah, cool, that sounded good. So I was like, oh, shit, is this the future? Do I never have to leave home again? I was like, yeah, this is fantastic. So it's a bit of that. I think there's going to be a bit of that. But, of course, as we were just discussing, along the way with any creative thing, oh, man, it's good just to get in a room and hack it out. Like, it really is. So
Yeah, of course. Hopefully we won't see you in hologram in any tours soon. Hopefully we'll still get you out of the house in a live setting.
That'd be perfect. That'd be amazing.
The where are we now? I think the end of the year, still, touch wood, there's no change on them yet. You're going on tour with Birds are going on tour with Keith Urban
yes.
come December. it might be a bit of a redundant question, but are you looking forward to getting back on the road for like a proper tour?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, like I'm lying if I'm saying I haven't missed it. Like we really enjoy touring, and those shows, they're like arena, stadium sort of shows, around the country. So it's just going to be massive. So very much looking forward to that. It's a chance for us to bring what we can to places and spaces like that. So itching for that as well. Fingers, toes, everything crossed. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. We're very sorely... I think everyone has been missing shows, and I think that especially artists and everyone behind the scenes has been missing shows as well. So touch wood that these go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I can say that is a thing, and that is very real. We were just fortunate last month to do a WA tour, WA only. There's enough of us in WA to make it work, and it was just great. Like we went up for everything from the south to like Albany right up to Broome, and did all these regional shows, and it was just wonderful to get in rooms again with people who've been missing music, and we've been missing playing. It was just this wonderful, rolling love going on each night in different venues of everyone just having a good time. So, yeah, very cool, and we'd like to get back to it.
Did you find any changes to the audience in terms of some people we've spoken to, some in WA actually, found that audiences were a little, maybe not hesitant, but, they weren't as gung-ho to be like in it as much, if that kind of makes sense?
Some of the places we played, that definitely didn't happen. That did not happen in Broome or Onslow or any sort of, it's a very deliberate regional tour. They were going batshit, man. And then some of the shows on that last run, the WA thing, were theatres, these beautiful theatres around the state, and they were supposed to be seated. And I reckon that lasted about 6 songs, and then people were like, "Fuck it, we're standing up." and then you see all the ushers or whatever come. They're like, "Oh no, you've got to sit down." They're like, "Yeah, well, he's not, she's not, so we're not doing it." Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I like that about regional towns, though. They don't give a shit. They're just up for it. And it's rad.
That's awesome. I feel that, when COVID hit and there were shows, a lot of shows were all seated, and for some bands that just isn't suited. And I think that at the beginning that's fine, and still very respectful of COVID protocols and everything else, that it comes a point where you just kind of want to get up and enjoy the music.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember the first show this is going back a year and a half ago. Just as COVID was, the lockdowns had ended, the first round, we went and played a show in Wollongong Theatre. And it was literally a sit down. It was like a lounge act and a dinner show. It was wicked. To a point, because people were still like, yeah, come on, but they're all seated around their beers and their wines, and that was the first one we did. And I remember going, fuck, okay, that was all right, but is this what we got to do until we get back to normal? Like, I was like, oh wow, this is going to be different, but it's starting to change.
That's good. Again, as we said, it's just the sooner we get back to normal with gigs, the better.
Right on, man.
Kenny, usually we would ask our guests what they're currently listening to, if there's an album or some tracks on your record player or streaming service that are getting a thorough listening to.
Good question. Man, I'm all about Shazam. Let me look what's going on. Oh, God, there's a killer track out from King Stingray, their new one.
Yeah.
What's it called? God damn it. Anyway, check out King Stingray. Those guys have got a killer vibe going on. I really love that new Polish Club track. Is it called Whack? Whack, I think it's called. Awesome. There's something about that brings me back to some, high school vibes that I'm was listening to back then. That's really, really cool. God, now I'm just going through my... this Baby Metal Karate. Have you heard that track?
I do know who Baby Metal are. I haven't heard the track Karate, but I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Man,
check out Karate.
Baby Metal's not my thing at all. I know, of course, you know what it is, but it's... I just can't give my brain around. But there's that track Karate is mental. Check it out.
Yeah, right.
It's mental.
Definitely will check out that track. And, King Stingray, I imagine in just what we were talking about in relation to going nuts at gigs again, I have a feeling once everything's lifted, those shows for those guys are just going to be absolutely mental.
Oh, for sure. There's something really, really good happening within that. I'm loving it. And, oh, yeah, man, bring that on. God, let's do that. Let's do that.
Kenny, thank you very much again for your time today. I do appreciate it. Congratulations on the single and congratulations on the grand final. All the best for Saturday.
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate your time as well, man. This has been rad. Thank you.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Kenny and Birds of Tokyo for their time. Superglue, featuring Stand Atlantic, is out now, and we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to stream the single. We also want to give a huge shout out to Mariam at EMI Music for helping out with today's interview. You can find a link to our Spotify playlist in the show notes, where you'll be able to listen to all of our guests' picks. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Thursday and Friday morning, with guest playlists streaming on Spotify at the same time. You can follow the playlist profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.